desk.
I need a marker.
Oh. Oh yeah. The desk by the entrance. Yeah. Yeah. I saw Abe. That was good. That's why I just put that tweet. Congratulations, Abe. Abe, how are the Rays guys? I mean, I don't think Scout is exactly what you person. If you can somehow. So I get, but they're like they're like notes on the show. Yeah, they're like forums where you can put stuff like that. That's awesome. I thought having them up to the things like changes. Just have no people like Bins? That was Ben. No, not that. Oh, yeah, actually. Yeah, we did like a video. I thought you were talking about the halftime. That was also stuff.
Yeah, that was good. I know he's handled the ball.
Mason.
Yeah.
So you won't be there for 30. Life begins at 30.
We will start with James Bishop and Max Edwards. If you guys have questions, raise your hand, call on you, and we'll get started. Who wants to kick us off? Abe's going to kick us off.
Yes. JB, 21 points, 7 assists. You were pretty ice cold down the stretch. How'd you feel going to this national game today?
I felt great. The whole team felt confident. The coaches put together a great plan for us, and we all believed in it and came out, executed, and was able to pull off this home win, which is great.
18 scouts in attendance today. Do you guys know anything about that pregame? How does that impact your game at all? How does it feel to put on such a performance in front of some professional eyes?
I had no clue. I didn't know until you just told me. So no, I don't really. I try not to think about that or even worry about that. I'm worried about George Washington and trying to get us that win. So that's all that matters.
For either of you guys, dealing with their size, the different matchups, obviously, and just the defensive end in general, just how vital was that, and how did you think you guys were able to hold up against that?
I mean, Caputo said they was one of the bigger teams in the A-10. I mean, we just knew we had to box out on the defensive end and get stops, and that's what we did majority of the game. There was little errors and up and down the game, but I feel like we did a very great job.
And then just on offense, with them having so much size, just being able to attack them off the dribble and get into the paint and make great decisions. I think that was really big for us. And then once we got stops, getting out in transition and using our speed against them.
And to kind of follow up on that for you, you obviously were able to get to the 10 a fair bit today. I mean, was that sort of going in a priority to you to be able to take advantage of those chances?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're a great defensive team. So if you let them settle in, it's going to be really hard to score on them. So it was big for us to, like I said, use our speed, try to get to the rim early in the clock, and just try to make great decisions. And tonight, everyone was able to do that.
Dave? Question for both of you. You guys held them 27% from the field in the first half. What was the approach defensively, and what was the execution to really hold them in check for much of the game?
I mean, we came out with a game plan, but the biggest thing was just playing as hard as we can. They got two good, really big guys in the post, so that was a big thing coming to the game, trying to slow them down as much as possible. And then if we send a double or anything like that, just blasting out the shooters. And, we was able to do that, but, it just all boils down to playing hard, really.
Max, you started this game. You had 2 threes and 2 big dunks really early in the game. How important was it to come out and kind of throw that first punch, but also get the crowd in the game and start the game?
I mean, shout out to Georgia Army. They showed mad love today, but JB just saw me, BA saw me, and I saw them. They was all eyes on JB and BA. I had the back door, and I'm playing one of the 2 best guards in the A10 in my opinion. So I know they're gonna find me. So I just play my part.
For either of you, you're now 4-2 in the A10. I know everybody wants to win the conference. Do you really think you can win this conference?
100%. I mean, I don't see why no one in the locker room thinks we can't. I think it's very possible.
Yeah, we just try to take it game by game, not look too far ahead and think about winning the conference. Just think about every day getting better, and then, and everything will handle itself.
JB, talk a bit about your passing today. I mean, 7 assists, just seemed like you were passing out of every double in for you. Just like what was going right there?
Just recognizing coverages and how they're playing me. Teams are going to try to get the ball out of my hands, so, it's pivotal for me to make passes out of those coverages. And, I got guys like Max and Ricky and BA and, everybody on the floor, Hunter, and they all make shots, so it makes me look really well, because they're able to hit looks and, it helps all of us.
If you guys just talk about the impact Georgia's Army has, I know the student section was packed today. Max, saw you jump up there after the game. Can you just talk about what they bring to the team?
It was a long winter break. I don't know how many games we had without them here, but it was it was great to see them, and they got loud, and we really need them today, and they showed out.
Yeah, it's always amazing to play in front of a good crowd, and we've been blessed this year to play in front of many good crowds, and tonight was one of them. We love Georgia's Army.
7 minutes in the second half, Dayton starts to make a run. Holmes had a big dunk. Their crowd gets going on their side. What did you guys think in that moment? How did you kind of collect yourselves and turn it around? From that on, it was all you guys.
I mean, we know they're a really good team. Picked to win the A10, so we know they're going to make their runs, and they're not going to just lay down and let us blow them out or anything like that. So our mindset was just we know they're going to make a run, but when they do make a run, let's withstand and make a run back, and we was able to do that today.
Any other questions for student athletes? All right, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right, we'll take an opening statement from Coach and then open it up for questions.
Thanks. Before I get started, I just wanted to kind of talk about what Coach Grant talked about before his last game with the gamblers, I guess. And, what I would just say is if you are that much of a loser that you would form a fake Twitter or Instagram or whatever account to go, harass kids who play college basketball, I think Coach Grant said something about they got to reevaluate their priorities. I can't imagine anybody who would do that, and I would say it's a lot of fake tough guys behind anonymous handles. Where I'm from, if you have a problem with somebody, you go talk to them in person. So I would just say it's gutless. And it's embarrassing for those people, and we totally stand by the Dayton program as it relates to that. One of our own players got something after our game on Monday, and it's just complete clowns. So I'll say that first. Secondly, I would say very, very proud of our group. I've got the utmost respect for Coach Grant, the Dayton program. Their strength coach, Casey Catherall, was with us at Miami twice, 2 different times. We played them last year in Orlando, and we got beat on Thanksgiving Day. And then they went and beat Kansas on Friday. So we went to the Elite Eight. Kansas won the national championship, and Dayton beat both of us back-to-back nights. So I was familiar with their team and their roster, and obviously Coach Grant. And what a great coach he is. And so for me, we knew it was going to be a very tall task. I think our group has done a very good job of sort of taking whatever the game plan is and trying to execute it in league play. Doesn't mean you're going to be perfect or right or it's going to work, but you try to give it a shot once you kind of formulate a message to the team. It's kind of funny because last Saturday I think we were here with St. Louis, and we formulated a game plan And then that morning we figured out that Collins wasn't playing, and we might as well have not have practiced because we spent so much time thinking about him. And but this week I thought, with the extra day of preparation, a chance to formulate some ideas. We knew it was, again, going to be really difficult because of the quality of players on their team. But I will give my guys credit for, really focused effort into executing what we were trying to do.
You've talked about winning with all, having a score this year. To win with defense and to win at the pace that game was played at for 39 minutes. How encouraging is that to you?
We've been trying to get better defensively every day, and you're allowed to play fast when you can defend. I think I've said that. Like you can play as fast as your defense allows, and for us, we've had incremental improvements at moments, like the first half of Mason and most of the game today. But you just, like we know, it's going to give you a chance most nights if you can be a team that can defend. And, tonight we were. That doesn't mean it'll happen next week, but at least tonight in the first half of the Mason game, we gave ourselves a chance, and then obviously we were able to win.
Okay, going up against a perennial tournament team today, what does this win mean for the program, especially after years of, struggles?
Well, again, I think we know that Dayton is going to be at the top of the Atlantic 10. That's been historic, and so you want to be able to go and say, hey, no matter who comes into our arena, we're going to have the ability to compete and hopefully win those games, right? And so, we're able to do it. And tonight, a great crowd. I know there's a lot of Dayton fans as well. They're a great fan base, fun to play in front of them as well. And our student section was incredible, as it has been and as it should be here. And just created a great environment against a great team, and we were able to play very well. So I think that's a start. We're not anywhere near where we would like to be, but it's a start.
You've won 3 of your last 4. Just in what areas are you starting to see kind of that growth that you have been looking for?
Again, I would say the defensive end, Marcus. I think, just the ability to put together longer stretches of good defense. We're a good offensive team that if we can score, then we can run. I mean, if we can get stops, then we can run. And it allows you to play in the open court. And so, I think for us, it really kind of works together. We've been a pretty good half-court offense with our guard play. And then if we can get stops and then use that in the open court, it's easier to score in the open court, points per possession-wise, right? So for us, it's been a big emphasis. We've spent, as I've said to you guys before, sometimes you think I'm lying probably because our performances haven't always been as good defensively, but we're spending like 80% of our time on defense, to try to improve in that area. So.
And at the beginning of the year, with the defense, it was a lot of fouling. That seems to have calmed down.
Yeah, we've changed schematically a little bit, and that has been good, but I think more so the combination of that and sort of the effort and the connectivity and, just some experience. I mean, we've got guys a couple guys who are new to me, so.
Dave.
Dayton, I believe, entered the day leading the A-10 in rebounding margin. You guys won the battle of the boards and were up for the entire 40 minutes for the most part in that category. What was the commitment? What was the key to doing so well on the glass against?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about their physicality and the idea that the guards needed to come and get to the glass as well. I know BA had a bunch of rebounds in the first half. I don't know what he finished with, but we're good. We're not terribly physical. I don't think that's any surprise, right? We're sort of big-ish, but we're not a big physical team, and so some of our rebounding really has to be gang rebounding. Like somebody's got to be like blocking out, and the next guy comes and gets it, and that was a little bit of it, I think, in the first half.
And you mentioned Brendan. He had 11 of 12 from the line down the stretch.
He was a great free throw shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was 87. I mean, he missed the one at Mason. I was like, man, would have been nice to make that and breathe a sigh of relief for the last 10 seconds. But excellent free throw shooters, and those guys are It's how you win games, obviously, against good teams. It's a minute left and we're up 10 or whatever. Like, Dayton's not going to lay down, so you're going to have to stop them and inbound and get fouled and take care of the ball and all that, make free throws.
Can you talk about your game plan specific for Darron Holmes, who you held him to 14 points. People are considering him one of the favorites for conference player of the year. Just what was your strategy there?
Well, we brought doubles to him early, and then I think some of the stuff about doubling people is it's more of a rhythm thing. Like I don't know that like, okay, we're doubling and so they're never going to score. No, sometimes you double and they throw it out and they make a three, and sort of you don't want all of that all the time, obviously. But with a great post player, like the rhythm of like, hey, am I being doubled? Am I not being doubled? Are they coming on the dribble? They're not coming on the dribble. Hey, where am I throwing it? Where are my reads? Oh, wait, hold on a second. Now they're playing me one-on-one. Like, oh, I haven't shot it in a while one-on-one. Like, that type of thing to try to keep them off balance,
Following up on the rebounding question, you guys are now 9-1 when you out-rebound your opponent and 1-8 when you don't. Is it easier to get buy-in when you can show them, like, hey, guys, if you rebound, we will win?
I'll use the stat on Monday. Pete Carroll said if you want to be good rebounders, you have to recruit players that grew up close to the train tracks, right? So I'm constantly asking them for their home addresses so I can Google them and see when they don't rebound. My home address in Queens lived right near the train tracks, so I got that covered rebounding at 5'7". It's like the effort has to be there, the importance has to be there, and again, sometimes guys have a knack to rebound, right? Like they are great. I coached Bruce Brown at Miami, and that guy can rebound, like as a guard. It doesn't matter, like he'll just go get it. Pat Connaughton, rebounder, like played against him at Notre Dame, like just go get, doesn't matter what size, whatever. And then, I've coached big guys that like never got a rebound, and so you'd hope that the guys who don't rebound block out. Right, if you're not going to get it, can you at least keep the other guy off it,
Two more if we got it. Dave.
Just another incredible performance from James Bishop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, everyone's kind of running out of ways to praise him for his season so far, but just like how incredible has he been?
You almost take his decision-making for granted. It's so good, Like you almost just say like, when he makes a mistake or a bad read or whatever, you're like, wow, I haven't seen one of those in a long time, I thought in the St. Louis game he made a couple bad ones, and I'm like, man, that was like super uncharacteristic because it just is like a broken record over and over and over again, a guy making great choices. He's so poised, so skillful. He's not a big guy, but he's tough. And his feel, and I mean, the pass he threw to Noel tonight, that's a great, like, the guys I've coached, I coached Shane Larkin, who was a 16th or 17th pick in the draft. That was like, he could like hang on to it with two guys, bigger guys on him, like just hang on to it. Most guys are like scared. James like hung on to it, got two guys with him. Okay, Noel's open, I'm just wrapping around, bounce pass, dunk. Like that's not easy to do. It may look easy, it ain't easy. I know I'm small too, I can't. Yeah.
One more if we got it. Cool. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Oh, Coach, who we got in the football games today?
Whoever Zach Bover has, I just go with him.
Giants.
Mm-hmm.